Alright, so I'm going to say this now. If my computer totally crashes or if the call somehow drops, yeah, my computer just wasn't ready to do all this again. So we are recording now. If we go back to our start slide, here's something that I think a lot of you are going to care about. What thing here did you notice that I've pretty much never done before? It's in red. I deleted an assignment. So first up, Lulu, I see your message. If you end up needing to watch the recording, that's okay. And that's a good announcement for any of you guys. Assuming that I'm able to record my classes, if something happens and you get goofed up and you can't see class, it will be recorded. It'll be on YouTube later. So Khan Academy update, I downloaded grade reports and printed them this morning. So as I talked about in Foundations, I went through and highlighted anyone who's behind. And later today, I will be emailing out to parents to let people know that they're behind and that I offer Math Lab Tuesday and Thursdays. So, which I don't know how Lulu's still messaging me, even though it says she's not in the meeting. Sorry, I just got a little lost in my thoughts. I'm trying to do too much. In Khan Academy, I'm just going to get back on track and go down this list. So in red here on the announcements page, I deleted the rational numbers word problem assignment. It was pretty hard for what we've done this year versus what we're still going to do this year. So we'll come back to that assignment, right? We will still do that one, but not anytime soon, probably at some point in January or February. So if you already completed that, really good job, especially if you got to 100%, that was a super hard assignment. So good work. Sorry that now you're like, crap, I worked really hard on that and it's gone now. Guys, that goes back to reach out to us. Tell us if we give you something that's too hard. And we might tell you this isn't too hard, you just need to go back and relearn things. But I realized it was too hard, right? That assignment that I assigned was too difficult. We weren't able to do it quite yet. So you really have three things that are due on Wednesday, as it were. There's an assignment, a quiz, and a test, like a quiz and unit test. Really, you should have taken those back before we took our test in class, but if you were behind, those are the things that I extended those due dates to Wednesday to make things slightly easier for you. So if you were behind on Khan Academy, I invite you to come to Math Lab on Tuesday and Thursday mornings. Some of you, your parents, are going to get that invitation also. There's a new community help document in Schoology. So let's go ahead and say raise your virtual hand if you have seen the community help doc in Schoology. Let's see if people can find their virtual hand again. Or maybe no one has seen it. Ooh, sweet, sweet. Okay, at least like half of us. So if I drag over my Schoology page, if you go into Schoology and you do not need to do this right now, wow, you guys keep moving around as you raise or lower hands. That's so weird. I don't know why Zoom does that. Right here says Community Help Doc. Now, one of you actually sent me an email over break asking me to solve a problem. That I'm going to do today, record a video, and it's going to go in here. And I might enlist the help of a student to edit this and clean it up and make it look a little bit more interesting. Right now, mainly what we have going is color-coded questions and responses. So if I click on this again, it'll leave Schoology and go to the actual Google Doc. The point of this is so that all of us can help each other. So anytime somebody sends me a problem, I'm going to post my response. I'm going to send it to them, but I'm also going to put it here. So if you are struggling on something in Khan Academy, it's worth checking the community help document to see, are there any questions like the one that I'm struggling on? Or, now guys, don't just type in the community help document and think I'm going to see it. You still need to send your questions right to me. But if you send me a question, I'm going to send you the response, and then I'm going to post it in the community help doc so that everybody can see that response. Nate, what's up? Oh, I can put it down, I think. There you go. Mia, what's up? Nothing? Sweet. Alright, so community help document is here in materials. We're going to be adding our new things in the November 30th and beyond. So through today and through this week, you know, I'm going to move stuff from our other previous folders, and you guys can't see some of that. But from these previous folders, when we were back in remote, and now that we're back in hybrid, or when we were in hybrid, and now that we're back in remote, I made it blue because it's going to start snowing outside. So I will post like our daily agendas there, the community help I will also have live there, just a few different things that I will take care of today. LearnStorm's over, but we're not going to talk about what class won until that class gets caught up. So if you think that our class maybe won, we should probably get caught up so that we can find out if we were a winning class. Alright, so as we talked about, we're going to solve problems like this today. But the thing that we haven't learned about, and we're going to come back to this problem, actually let's solve this as like a warm-up, and then we'll do the things that we haven't done before. So what's blocked by my webcam? I think you might be able to see it now, or it might be like blinking. I don't know what it looks like on your screen. But Alan ordered a $15 meal, right? This is a bit more complex than the problems that I asked you to do during hybrid like a week or two ago, I guess, is when it was. So write down, take a moment to read this problem and write down what you think is important here. And actually I'm going to move this up to see if I can get it completely in the screen. There we go. So on your notes paper, let's head our page with like percent problem review or something like that. So make sure you put a date on it. And guys, I know you can't see my handwriting right now, but it's going to be pretty bad today because my hands are really cold. And when your fingers are really cold, it's hard to write. So, who can tell me, who can like raise their hand and then unmute, Jocelyn, bless you, and tell me what is important here? What should we write down for this problem? Ooh, sales tax is 5%. So if I drag my screen over, I know we're still having issues with focus, refocus. That's not what I wanted. So tax is, sorry, we said how much? 5%. So in Wisconsin, apparently tax is less. Tax is 5%. What else is important in this problem? Natalie, again, because your camera's off, I'm going to pick on you a little bit more. Same with Nate. Natalie, how much is the tip percent that Alan wants to leave? 15%, right? So we can write down tip is 15%. Sorry, guys, seriously, my hands are very cold. You can see everything that's necessary. So it just wants us to figure out the total, right? The everything. But we don't even need to see the question. We care more about writing down what's important right now. So sorry, I'm going to try to get this to stop changing. There's one more thing that we know here that we haven't written down yet. Now this problem involves a lot of 5s, so it's pretty tough. Stop refocusing. What else do we know? Stella, sorry, I was looking for virtual hands, but when I looked up and I realized some of you are raising your actual hand. It just goes off frame, right? So then all I see is like this part of your arm. Ooh, Isaiah's got his virtual hand up. Isaiah, what else do we know? Yeah, the meal costs $15, not percent, right? So we've got percent, and dollars. Lacey, what's up? Or you probably had your hand up for that other thing. Do you want to tell me what we can do now? Yeah, so notice what's in parentheses right here. Sales tax is not calculated on tips. And before that, the sentence said, Lacey, thank you for bringing this up. The tip amount is calculated on the price of the meal before tax. So guys, both of these are going to be of the $15, right, is what Lacey said. So it's 5% of $15 for the tax and 5% of $15 for the tip. What does of tell us to do? Anybody unmute and shout it out. Multiply. So I'm going to color code this. I'm going to make tax red because tax is So 5%. How do we use 5% in the number like that we can calculate with? We got to make it into its what form? Guys, by the way, you can use your spacebar to unmute. If you're clicked on Zoom and you just hit your spacebar, it'll unmute and then you can just shout out whatever. Lacey, go ahead. Yeah, we have to put it in decimal form. So guys, 5% is 0.05. If you don't remember that, make a note somewhere of 5% means 5 over 100, and 5 over 100 is 5 hundredths, right, or 0.05. So that times 15 will give us the tax amount. So guys, somebody should have a calculator at home. Now that we're all at our own desks every day, keep your calculator close. Somebody calculate 5% of 15, please. The tip, I'm going to make green because the server is going to get that money, put that green in their pocket. And again, 15%, we cannot use the percent though. So we have to use the decimal form, 0.15 times 15. Alright, so who got 5% of 15? Somebody just shout it out. What I have in red, 0.75 for the tip, or sorry, for the tax. And then the tip then, I think it should just be triple that, because 15% is triple 5%, so I think it should be triple. What do you get there? 0.15 times, how much? Oh, I should have been smarter than to put this 0 here. Of course it's going to be more than $1. So this is why we don't do math in pen, right? I'm going to rewrite this. You said 2.25? So if this is our tax amount, this is our tip amount, and then we have the meal amount, how do we figure out the total of everything? Somebody just hit that space bar and shout it out. Just shout it out. Just shout it out. You're good. Yeah, we add the meal and the tax and the tip. Oh, I gotta watch the chat. Sorry, people at Victor, thank you so much. You put decimal form in the chat, and Jocelyn, you were given answers in the chat. So 0.75 was the tax, 2.25 was the tip amount then. So our total will be when we add all of those up, and I think it comes out to just be $18 even. Check that in your calculator, please. Now be careful, if we were doing this in Khan Academy, it might ask me questions along the way of like, how much was the tip? Or how much was the tax? Before it gets to asking me how much was everything together. I'm just checking in on my texts. All right, questions about the problem we just did, aside from what is wrong with my camera and why won't it stop trying to refocus? Other questions about, we knew the tax percentage, we knew the tip percentage. Guys, I seriously don't know what I can do. Ooh, maybe that worked. Any other questions? This is a good warm-up because we had to solve 2 different problems and then add them together. Alright, if you have another question, please send it to me in the chat. That is one thing that is good about us being back on Zoom. You can privately chat me. So guys, most of the problems we've been dealing with are like the cake store is having a 25% off sale. But, and I'm going to unfull screen this for a second, these problems are the ones that you guys have started to email me and say like, wait a minute, I don't know how to do this. So I'm going to copy that real quick, cover this up. So, yeah. Probably. Yeah, we're probably back on the regular, like I think like at least 10. Sorry, Miss Allie's asking. Hey, you guys tell me. When we're looking at the schedule that we move forward with, like, in these 3 weeks, do you guys need/want that 10 to 15 minutes in between classes? Or, like, if teachers go long to help you extra, like, really, here's what I'm going to say. At the end of my classes, I will probably say, if you need to log off and you need to take a break, go ahead. I will stay on here to answer any questions or solve a couple more problems if you want. So here in like 15 or 20 minutes, I will probably say, if you want to take a break, take a break. Otherwise, I'll keep helping you until we get done. But we see a new word here that we haven't seen before. Everyone in your notes, please write markup. And what this means, to mark in this situation, means to change. So a markup is a change, like literally the mark means change up. Sorry, that's a hyphen, not a minus. I need to, address that when we're in math. So markup is really, the definition is going to be an increase in price. It normally uses a percent. So a markup, another way to talk about what those words mean, when they say mark, they're literally meaning like to mark something, to put a price on something. So Jessica's Furniture Store buys a couch at a wholesale. Now this is another thing. Wholesale, that word may not make sense to you yet, is the price like from the factory, right? That's not the price that like you would pay when you go to the store. So I worked at Old Navy way back when, like a decade ago. I worked at Old Navy. They probably pay like $1 for the t-shirt that like is in the store. They charge you like $5, right? There's a markup so the store can make money. So in this situation, what we know right now is that the wholesale is our previous cost, right? So I don't even know what colors to write in. But with Jessica's couch situation, so I'm just going to put couch. The wholesale is the original or the previous price of $113. If you want to, in parentheses, you could put that's our previous price. When they tell us that the markup percent is 45%, please write this down, guys. These are like our notes for today, right? This is new stuff. The markup of 45% actually tells us that the store price, the price you're going to see, the new price, is the 100% they pay initially plus, sorry, my pen kind of made a weird mark there by my percent sign, plus the 45% increase. Now, here's the thing though. This problem does not actually ask us for the new price. They at least first, they might, ask multiple questions, but at least first they ask us for what is the markup for the couch. Well, they're not asking us for an answer of 45%, right? They're asking us for a dollar amount. So remember, this 45% has to be of something. Well, the markup of 45% is of what? 45% of what? Somebody unmute and tell me 45% of... Just hit that space bar, just unmute. Ooh. I kind of agree with the people saying 100%, but we don't want to do a percent of a percent. We want to do a percent of the thing we're dealing with. What are we dealing with here? Skittles, pizzas, Minions, dollars. Right? We're dealing with dollars here. So this is going to be 45% of $113. So guys, how we're going to calculate the markup, the math we're going to do is just like the math from last week. Guys, if we look at our formula sheet, right, if you go to just tax or just tip, pull out your formula sheet if you don't have it, or just markup. If you're looking for just the markup, we solve it the same way that we do tax or tip. We do the percent of the markup times what the price was previously or originally. So again, we can't use 45%. What's our decimal form of 45%? Shout it out, guys. Just hit the space bar. Yeah. Hopefully we're a lot more comfortable now because we've all been in class with each other. I don't care if you talk over each other. I just want to hear the right answer. And even if I hear the wrong answer, that's a good thing because we can talk about how did we get there. So 0.45 times what was the price of the couch before? 113. So to figure out the just markup, we're going to do that math. Guys, let me double check this isn't one of your classmates. Hello? And somebody should have a calculator at home. 113. Oh, ISIS, thank you. That was the number that went here. What do we get when we do this calculation? 0.45 times 113. I want you guys doing these and verifying with each other, right? It's okay if you get a wrong answer. Calculator mistakes happen. But I don't want to do this math for you. You all should have a calculator within reach. I should see you grabbing for a calculator, typing it in. Yeah. Please do. We only have like 10 more minutes together, but then it's at your desk. It's somewhere close. Guys, if you are sharing resources with a sibling, you should probably ask your parents to Amazon something else for you, or, Walmart or wherever you guys go. It's probably time to have our own resources, especially since we're all in school every day now. 50, 85? That sounds right. Madeline, Victor, Isis, I think 50, 85, especially since all of you guys got that. $50.85. Now, so that, if Khan Academy just asked us for the markup, this would be our just markup amount, right? The $50.85. But if they wanted, because very soon we're going to be asked to solve for the new price, if they wanted us to calculate the new price, I can add my percentages together and say the new price will be 145% of the old, previous price that they paid. And this is going to give me the same answer as if I add my $50.85 to my original 113. So whether we do the multiplication and then add, or add and then multiply, guys, I don't have my calculator either. Somebody do 1.45 times 113, or do 113 plus the 50.85. We'll get the same answer. 163.85. Victor, you're fast, man. 163.85. Thank you so much. Those of you participating in the chat or unmuting and shouting out, you're making my morning a lot better. Tell you what, being honest, my morning has not started off fantastic, so I am just happy to see you guys, even if it's in Zoom. I'm happy to do some math with you. So this is how we approach a markup problem. I want you guys to try one of these on your own now. So before I do that, does anyone have questions on what we just did? I'm going to drag this over. I'm going to try to keep that problem there, but add a new one in. I'm actually going to swap these because when I go to full screen, you're not going to be able to see all of... Crap, no, I want Brandon's on top. All right, here we go. Now, guys, this is very applicable because actually my wife and I bought a new couch this past weekend. We decided it was finally time. Our dogs had torn ours up enough. So Brandon's sofa, right? So instead of a couch, let's label our notes with Brandon's sofa. So if you want to draw a squiggly line or something, Brandon's sofa. Guys, please try this on your own. It's the only way to know if you understand what's going on. So I'm going to squiggly line. Brandon's sofa. We're going to start with writing down what we know, what is important, and then we're going to solve the problems from there. So guys, I'm going to drag my page. Actually, I'm going to drag this down so you guys can see what we did on the last one. But I'm going to work down here. I'm going to write in the part of my page you can't see. All of us are going to try this on our own for a moment. So what was the wholesale price, which again is our previous price? What's the percent of markup, and what's the amount of markup? Anyone bold enough to want to talk us through the whole problem? Ooh, Lacey with a quick hand. You want to talk us through how we do this?
So I just found that what the markup was, so I took 97 times 40, and then I divided it by 100 on my calculator, and I got $38.80 or $38.
Yeah, now hold on. Let's talk about what you just said. So you said you did 97 times 40, but if you did 40, now everything you said is correct, right? So don't back down from what you told me. Everything you said is correct. So the 40 has a percent sign attached. So guys, remember what Lacey said was she got her answer for 97 times 40, which I don't know what it is. Can you help me out?
It's 38 and 8 cents.
So actually, I think this was probably 3,880, the 97 times 40. Yeah, the percent makes us divide by 100. So remember, this percent symbol is why we're going to have to divide by 100. So out here, we divide by 100 to get our actual answer of $38.80. Alternatively, because remember, there's often a lot of right ways to get to our right answer. If we divide by 100 and get our decimal form, and then multiply by 97, we'll still get our 38.80. And then if we wanted the total new price, we could add that to the wholesale 97. So you said is 135. And remember, it's money, so let's go ahead and just say 80 cents. I love that you're saying 8 tenths because that is correct. Yeah, that's the correct way to say it. Madeline, by the way, I'm glad that you finally got in. I have this recording, so it'll upload to YouTube here in just a little while. So no worries that you missed out on the beginning. I think you just mainly missed announcements and a review problem. What questions are there on how we solve markup amounts? Now, I don't think Con asks you for the new price at first, but eventually you'll be asked to calculate the markup and the markup amount and the new price. Isis, I don't know what you mean by move my paper down. I don't know if you mean move it down to show up here. I don't really know what you're asking for. So, at this point is when I'm going to say, like what I said earlier, oh, to see the new stuff. And I can actually drag this up. I am happy to hang out on here and solve more problems for you guys. But I know that, like, to respect your time, we want to make sure that we, give you a little break if you need. So again, like I said, I am trying to think of a better way to do attendance, because that's where we keep kind of losing time. So maybe Wednesday I'll have a better technique for attendance. But yeah, I do have a problem that one of you sent me, and I can't find it. Hold on. Alright, so if you need to leave and go take your break, totally fine. Absolutely fine. Especially if you've drank any coffee this morning, you might need to go use the restroom. But if you don't need to, you might as well just hang out and solve some more percent problems with us. So this problem got sent to me over our little Thanksgiving break. So let's dive in and solve this one. William works at a nearby electronics store. He makes commission of 6% on everything he sells. He sells a computer for $764. How much does William make in commission? So commission, as we talked about last week, or 2 weeks ago, is an amount that the salesperson makes just straight up in their pocket, right? So commission is going to be a part of the sale that you made, that you take home with you. So if we look at this problem, the things that we know are that the cost of the item, like the computer, is $764, right? The commission, sorry, a little sloppy there. The commission is 6% of what he sells. So I'm going to say 6% of the sale. So whatever price the sale was, in this case, $764, commission will be 6% of that. So, to do that 6% of the sale price, we're going to do 0.06 for 6% times the previous, like the price that that person paid for the item. And this is hard math. I don't have a calculator right. Oh, I do have a calculator in my reach. Unless somebody else has it quicker than me. I think 4584. So again, we're using our calculators on these problems. I expect that you guys are using calculators. And that is how we would find William's commission for that situation. Alright, so only got a few people left in the Zoom, and I think you guys can even, see who's still in the Zoom or not. So do any of you three have a specific question, or you two? Oh, now it's just Mia. So